Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here. Look, I don't do this show to make everybody happy, make everybody feel good. I only deal with the truth, and the truth is never positive in any really outrageous way. I'm sorry to say that, but I look at the facts, I look at what's happening, and you can see that for yourself. I don't have to tell you that. But I'm going to get into topics and deal with something that very few people can deal with, talk about, or get involved with, even though they say they believe in it or not. All right, let me just get rid of this one screen here. Open up my room here. So, where do we start? We start at the beginning. All right. Now, I know people have a set viewpoint. I'm just making sure I can read the chat room if it pops open. All right. Now, I can only deal with the truth. And the truth is what I experienced in my 69 years of life. From the time I was little to now, all the things I went through, experienced personally, directly. I'm not a great reader, so I don't read a lot of the stuff people say. I listen to what people say. All right, on that, right, I listen to just about every kind of speaker, religious, New Age, or UFO speaker. I've been involved in the UFO world all my life. I've been involved with spiritualism all my life as well. So I have, you can say I'm lucky or unlucky. I had just about every experience you could possibly want in this lifetime, good, bad, and worse. But it depends on your viewpoint of what's good and bad. And what people say, well, there's no bad. Well, that's another make-believe story in their own mind. There's bad things. Not everything's good. And we're not moving into the most positive, beautiful world like some of these people are telling everybody. You're not going to become a six-dimensional spiritual being. Not in this world, not in this lifetime. So when you go to these speakers and you pay them money to hear them tell you that, dream all you want. Now, just think. I would say, look for one person out there that can really do something outrageous, like levitate a car, a mountain, do anything really different that nobody else can. I mean, there's people with little gifts and stuff like that, but I'm talking about something outrageous and can do it on call. I mean, if you talk about somebody like Jesus, was one of the few people that had 32 psychic abilities, was able to use them all. Now, I'm going to put a lot of words up there, and you might not know some of them, but if you do, just click it in the chat room, and I'll bring it and I'll go over it in case you need to. But here's the thing. I'm going to explain this. Now listen to this. This is how we're going to start it. Many people are moving from religion to religion, religion to non-religion, non-religion to religion. All right. There are 2.2 billion Christians on the planet. These are just rough, close numbers to what they assume is out there, right? All right. 1.8 billion Muslims, 1 billion Hindus. There's about 500 million Buddhists. There are 300 million Shab Yogers, people that follow it. There's 14.8 million Jewish people. There's about 5 million people that identify with New Age religion. There's about 50,000 people that follow Ekankar. There's about 750 million people that do not believe in anything. All right. Now, that leaves a total of about 6.8 billion people on this planet already. Then there's another 10 billion people that are into voodoo, Santeria, witchcraft, black and white magic, demonism, Lucifer worship. And out of that, there's about 2,000 more religions that many are unknown. So, all right, now that leaves one of the people, and that's called the Native people. There's 2 million Native people left in the United States that are full-bloods, out of 50 million. So look at those numbers, look at where we are, look what we did, and look at what we're doing. Without God, without love, without any of those words, just look at what we have done and are doing. All right? Now, where's God fit into that in your reality? What God are you following? Okay, we have the sun and moon gods. New Age, Native people follow that. Universal God, which a lot of New Age religions follow. Then we have no God, atheists that don't believe in any kind of a God, don't know what soul is, and believe they die, and that's it. So you can follow any one of these paths if you want to, or recreate your own. Some people believe aliens are our God, and that's their problem. But and I'm going to say this, people. I'm dealing with truth. I'm responsible to God. Nobody else on this planet. When I say what I know is true, I'm putting my life and heart and soul right there in front of God, telling you what I'm telling them. All right. I mean, what I'm saying that it can hear it. All right. If it had to, if it wanted to, but it doesn't come down into hell to deal with the low life that lives here. But someday you might realize where we are in the spiritual realm. We're not spiritual beings. We're not becoming six-dimensional spiritual beings. We're individual souls trying to understand what that even means. All right, 99% of us. And that usually is a programmed idea. It's fed to you from your parents, your friends, your family. All right? Now, when we go beyond that, okay, church, religion, spiritual speakers, and we go to conferences, we buy books and read more stuff. It's all created by a man's idea of words. How much of anything that a man writes can he prove? Anything in space is unprovable. Well, no, they can't. I know a famous scientist. He came out months ago. He's really old. And he says, nothing beyond our solar system can be proven. They're all theories. Black hole, Big Bang, all of they're theories. I mean, they're trying to create a black hole. They're trying to a bad place, which they're doing right now. And it's called CERN, C-E-R-N. All right? Check it out. Its magnetic field is stronger than the planet itself, if you want to believe that or not. So, we play with toys, which Tesla brought out to the world, are the most dangerous things we have ever played with all through history. I'm not going back to the alien races that were here and things like that. No. But as long as mankind has been on this planet, and it's been not that long, we weren't all those other things that were here, every race, we weren't all them and all that. We came from other worlds, people, and something you should realize, I don't know what kind of people can prove it wrong or really believe it or not, we are separate races. We all didn't come from Adam and Eve. We all didn't come from the same seed. The black race, red race, white race, yellow race. We didn't just change colors because we felt like it. We didn't change body size and things like that because we felt like it. And it wasn't evolution. Or we'd be changing. We haven't changed much in 40,000 years. So imagine how long it would have taken us to come from a caterpillar, a bug, a cell. People, look at the facts, look at the truth. Don't listen to science. They can't prove a thing they say. They don't know anything about time. They don't know when the first man came here. They don't know when the first alien was here. They don't know anything. All right? They don't know how much humans and dinosaurs lived together and all that. They have no clue. They can only base it on what they find. And they did find a dinosaur bone with a human bone. So obviously they were together. And, science doesn't want to release that kind of information because then it'll screw up what they're trying to program you to believe. Now, on the other hand, they want to program you not to believe the truth, like Mars and Moon and what's going on up there and all those kind of things as well. All right. This all fits into life, us, and God. And I'll get into that as we move along here. But I'm trying to get you to look at where you are. It only matters what you think, believe in, prove to yourself, and accept. Because it's how you're going to live your life, and it's going to be what you base your decisions on. I mean, door 1, 2, or 3. Well, it's a guessing game. I mean, if you don't know what's behind any of those doors, it doesn't matter because you're going to pick one. If you had to pick one to get out of there, which one would you pick? Whichever one you feel like picking. You will have no clue to the truth behind each door until you open it. Oh, I feel good about this door. Oh, there's a dragon inside there. Oh, I feel good about this door. Oh, it's just burning up. So, we go by feelings and emotion. They all come out of the brain. The brain has 5 emotions, senses. All right? And they're useless in the next realm or the higher realms where soul goes. They're only useful here because you can feel pain, see it, touch it, experience it. Soul can't. Soul doesn't have to feel pain. You can't cut up a soul. You can't shoot it, burn it. Can't do any of those things. So soul is much different than we are, but it isn't a body that feels all that. And the mind keeps saying, well, you're hot. This is cold. This is this. You're going to get this. And it's all based on its programming. It is not much better than a computer you play with. It's programmed from when you were a little kid. If you weren't given any programs, what do you think you would be doing as a child? Nothing. You would be dead. All right? Children, humans, do not live by themselves. Some creatures in nature can. Not all of them. Some can. But we're not one of those creatures that can. Even though we got the best brain out of them all. But it's not programmed. It's a computer with no memory. So what good is it? You got to turn it on first, and then you got to fill it with some kind of memory for it to do something. And that's the way the human body works, but not soul. So you have to understand soul before you'll even be able to touch what God is or what God isn't. I do many things over and over, but people don't listen, don't do what I say, and I don't think they get the benefits of what I'm trying to feed them, give them, or however you want to word it. I'm not feeding you junk. I'm not feeding you stories that are useless. I'm not going to give you information. Wow, that's cool. No, there's no cool information coming out. Unless you consider that someday you'll get closer to God. That's all I can tell you. It could take 100 lifetimes. It could take 10 lifetimes. It could take one more. But it's up to you. All that is up to you. Not anybody else. Not anybody else's stories. They're not going to help you attain that. What am I doing? Giving you the foundation. I mean, if you're going to walk, you got to walk on something. And then you can get somewhere. To wherever you want to go, but you can at least walk a path. If there's no path to walk, you're not going to get nowhere. All right. When I mention, are they good or bad? Well, the people that follow it believe it's good. People that follow Lucifer are not following Lucifer. All right. Same as people that say they're following Christ. I just wrote a letter to this big famous person claiming we're going to be in touch with Christ consciousness. If you say Christ consciousness, that means you know Christ. You know what he thought, felt, and did. And how many people have a clue to what that is, other than what some man wrote about it? And they're not all true, not even close. So, how far do you want to go? I'm going to take you as far as you're willing to go. And obviously, if you don't like what you hear, you're going to drop off. But that's your choice. All I can do is put it out there. Like when it was told to just cast the seeds out. They'll fall on stone, they'll fall on ground, they'll fall on water. Some will grow and many won't. But it doesn't matter about the ones that won't. Do you think they help God? You think the people that stay here, reincarnate over and over, are helping God in any way? Are we making anything spiritual? Do you know what the word even means? Look at the planet where we are right now. The most dangerous place we could ever be in. And it's because of the ignorant and stupid toys we made. Bombs. Using AI. We didn't make AI, even though we believe we did, but it's using us. And it will. So there's a lot of things happening. And you're not going to believe any of that because you don't even know who and what you are. I mean, there's good stories that you could believe, like the story of Adam and Eve. But God lied to them. God lied to Adam. The God in the Bible, anyway. You think God has to lie to any of us? Oh, I'm going to make it beautiful for the next 10 years and it just rains the whole time. God could do what it wants. If it got involved that much with this planet, but it doesn't. There's many realms and they get better and better. But when you're in those realms, when you're able to do greater things, then God could use you and work with you. When you can't even raise a pencil or heal a bird or something like that, why would it bring you to a realm where everything's incredible and different? That's the only thing, well, not the only thing. The difference is you don't bring all the garbage to the next higher realm. The astral plane is not a higher realm. It's part of this realm. But when you go beyond that, you let go of the garbage. pain, suffering, lying, cheating, stealing, murder, all those things get dropped. Or you don't get there. So you can pray all you want and ask for forgiveness all you want. You're not going to get there. I'm putting my life. I'll say, look, God, am I lying? Strike me dead. Blow my brains out. Do anything. I'm not a liar. And I don't put false teachings out there like 90% of the people out there, or 99% of the people out there. They don't know God. They can't talk about God. And they're telling you how you have to live. Really? You have to go to war. The country says you have to kill somebody. No. Jesus taught that. Definitely, you can't kill people. Because somebody told you to kill people? That's when he said, give your life to God and you'll have eternal life. Means your house is being attacked by the army. What are you going to do? Shoot them all down and try to? And then get shot? Let them shoot you. You don't have to kill somebody. When you go to another country to kill children and women and people like that, you think you're working for God? You're working for a man in power with money. Has nothing to do with religion, has nothing to do with spiritualism, has nothing to do with God. All right. If one person is saved, okay, and 100 people are killed, is that a miracle? Would you call that a miracle? Oh, he was saved. What about the 100 that died? If a woman has twins and one dies, or one lived, that's a miracle. Really? What do you consider a miracle? People love miracles. What's a miracle? Something that happens once in your lifetime? Or was almost hit by a car and the car just disappeared? But is that going to happen every day of your life to protect you? When you talk about protection, do you have a clue what it means? No, you don't. And you believe religions, you believe teachings, you believe people out there telling you everything's okay. No, it's not. Nothing is okay. It's not okay. So, there's people that walk that fine line. They're dying and they see things. They know it's okay because they know they're going to a better place. That makes it okay. The girl that didn't win, she died. America's got. It's okay. She had cancer. She was dying. She had a couple more months. She came on. She did an incredible song. But she went back into sickness and died. But she sang, it's okay. And she said her odds are 100 to 1. And she knew it. So, it's learning where you are, what to do to get to the next step. It's not like, well, if I do this, this, and this, I'll get there. Well, who told you which steps you need to take? Where are you coming from? Well, if you take 10 miles that way, 2 miles that way, you'll be in India. Will you really? You have to figure out where you are, where you want to go to. Then you got to map out how you're going to get there. Simple, isn't it? No. A spiritual path to get out of hell is the most complicated thing you could do in this reality. Because you got so many things trying to keep you here. Satan, all right, demons, family, and obsessions, and all those kind of words too as well. Attachment. So yeah, it's hard to get out of here. Or I want to come back and be with my family. To do what? What are you doing with them right now? My brother's dying. What can I do for him? He's in New York and he's moving to another state. And he just had a stroke. He has dementia. He's not going to be around much longer. But am I going to heal him? I don't believe in that, people. We have karma. We get things we deserve, whether we see it, feel it, or know it. All right? We do create more karma. We do eliminate karma. Everybody has it, people. And you can't say, well, it's just gone. Write it on a piece of paper. Throw it in the fire. It's gone. It's gone. No, it's not. And some so-called spiritual hero. I wave my hands over you. I take all your karma and burn it up and it's all gone. If you believe that, you might walk around happy for a while until the next bad thing happens and you realize your karma is still on top of you. But people, what's this have to do with God? Everything. How do you expect to see God? Do you want to ever see God? Do you want to understand God? A God, not a story. The Bible is a story about a man who they made that man into God. So, do you want to believe that all your life? There's parts in the Bible that are important. Jesus did speak, but mankind didn't understand what he was talking about. Remember, they were farmers, fishermen. What did they go to school to learn? Nothing. What did they do? They knew how to build a boat. They knew how to build a house. They knew how to put horseshoes on a horse. I mean, what else did they know? They were not just saying, well, I'm going to go out and build a spaceship today. I'm going to build a time machine and go into the future. No, they weren't there. They don't know what those words even mean. Dimensional beings? What's that mean? I'm going to levitate through the ocean and pop out on the other side of the planet? What? What do you think it meant to these people? Nothing, because they didn't understand it. Now, we created, man did, not me, the aspect of what most people believe God is. And a lot of people accept aliens, deities, demons as their God. All right, they're ready to jump in when you allow them in, and that's called possession in one way. When a demon enters your body, it's possession, and usually you can't get it out because you don't know how. I mean, you allowed it in the first place, but you don't know how to get it out either. Look at every path out there. Where are they headed? Where are they going to go? What is their total ending of what they do in life? Well, I fed 5 children. I built 3 houses. I got 3 cars. I got 10 dogs, 3 babies, and I'm dying now. So what's that mean? What did you do? What was anything spiritual involved with that? Had sex 10 million times? Oh, wow. Now, does that make you better? Where do you fit into this place called higher dimensional beings? I wrote 3 people about that recently. Oh, you're a high dimensional being. What can you do now that you didn't do the day before you became a spiritual being? Nothing different. You change your thinking. You reprogram your ideas of who and what you think you are. But did you change anything? No. Can you fly? Could you walk around underwater forever? Could you do anything you want? No. You're limited to a body that has its vibrations and energy geared to this world. You can't change the vibration of this planet without destroying it. And you know, if you ever dealt with tuning forks, strike it and put it next to a glass and watch it shatter. Because the vibration is too powerful for the glass. And you think anything spiritual coming into this world would not do the same thing? People, you know, God doesn't walk around here, doesn't fly around here, doesn't visit here. Why would it go into hell? Why would it want to? Oh man, they're really bad. It knows what it created. I mean, it gave us the ability to free will, which we have, and we're not even allowed to use that. Free thinking, free speech, we don't have any of that. But we don't need it because we don't have the ability to do it rationally or correctly. Free speech, yeah, you can say things. Like somebody cursed me out the other day, and I said, look, that's it. I don't deal with people that curse me out, period. I don't care what the reasoning is. So, you know, how far and how willing are you allowed to allow the government to attack you or people around you to reprogram the way you live, the way you have to live, what you have to eat? And it's going to get incredibly worse in a very short time. Now, I'm going to try to get to a lot. I'm not making this up, people. And this is real. Go online. You'll find out there's companies already. They're making burgers, like hamburgers, out of crickets. Seriously. It'll be a cricket burger. And I'm not lying about that. Now, something even 10 times more gross than that. And this is real. And I was talking with about 3 or 4 people, and we were all going over it. They're going to make milk from roaches. Milking a roach. Do you believe that or not? You don't have to. How many roaches does it take to make a glass of milk? It gave a number. Like 20,000, whatever. It actually gave numbers and stuff. But it's gross. It's sickening. And it's where we're going. Mr. Gates. Not Gates, sorry. Yeah, maybe Gates. Yeah, Gates, sorry. He doesn't want cows. He doesn't want us to eat cows and use cows. He wants to eliminate farms. Now think about that. We get milk from cows, don't we? We're going to need cows no matter what. And he's taking farmlands away. But then they're going to have roach milk to fill your gut with. Really? I mean, they started using other creatures like the ostrich and things like that in other countries a long time ago. But, the United States has certain dignities. I mean, they'll say, well, you can't eat a dog, but you could eat a baby cow. Does that make any sense? If you have any kind of morals? Do you know what veal is? A baby calf. People, do you think about what you do, eat, and where you go and why and all those things? Well, I watch TV. I get pleasure. Pleasure of what? Excitement, drills going through your body, overstimulated. What do you get? I mean, those things make people do things. Drinking is the number one thing around the planet. 90% of the people that have any kind of money drink. I'm not talking about water. Because they can't deal with reality. Sadly, they can't deal with life. And drugs are the secondary one that goes overriding everything that we do that people can't deal with. I mean, I'm in pain. I have to take medicine. But is it really helping me? I'm not sure. But, when you see people really in extreme pain and the medicine doesn't help them, where are we? How many years does it take to make a medicine that could stop pain without being a danger to your body and to your life? We don't do it. Why? Because pharmaceuticals wouldn't be making much money, would they? They don't want people to live healthy because then they wouldn't make money. They don't allow vegetables and fruits to be classified as anything because people wouldn't be paying much money for it. I mean, if they classified like a tomato as a spiritual food, not a spiritual food, a healing food, they'd have to reclassify it and you'd have to buy it as with a written prescription from a doctor. So they can't do that, and they're not going to, but they're not going to allow anything to be classified. Now, peroxide, they're using the word a lot. Baking soda. Two things that were created a long time ago for a major reason. But they don't want the truth for those two to ever come out, how powerful they are, what they can really do. I can't do it. I don't want to lose my show. I'm really on the verge of losing the show, but again, get into it. Dig deep. I could show you a book a friend gave me about 9/11. It's wide. All right? It's this wide. Karma is karma, that's for sure. Sorry. I'm not going to get into people dying right now. I'm going to get through. What do we want to get back to? Okay. I'll get over the food that we're going to be eating, the air that we're breathing, what we're going to be driving around in. I don't get into artificial intelligence deeply. I just want to tell you, artificial intelligence means something that has intelligence, but that's not human, the way we perceive it. Now, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be proven every which way sooner or later, probably a lot sooner. AI is a real live entity. Oh, no, it's not. It's just a probe. No, it's not. It was created by aliens a long time ago. It will be taking over the planet. It will be able to think and decide what it wants to do with us, under the guidance of an alien race. All right, I don't want to get into that, but it's real, people. I'm not making that up, and you will see soon enough that I'm not lying to you. All right, now, what we see as far as like when we talk about six-dimensional beings, what do you look like when you're a six-dimensional being? The same? Really? And then people believe that we were created in God's image. Really? Why would you believe that? What do you think God would be, where it would be, if it was in our image? Sitting on a throne, which people believe or see it? Well, it's sitting down somewhere. No, it's not. Why do you have to believe it's sitting down? Because man's lazy and that's what they all want to do? I mean, I'm in a chair 90% of the day and night. Writing letters, writing my book, doing things that I can. I mean, if I was a billionaire, I would change so many things until that money was almost gone. People that have money have no clue about God, where they go when they're going to die, and they don't care. Because when they die, they think they're going to come with a bundle of money and say, here, press me over, put me somewhere good. No, that's not going to ever happen, people. And if you understand what Jesus really said, he said that's not ever going to happen. So Try to think about what I'm saying, people. I know you don't agree with anything I say. Maybe you do. But this is probably one of the most important shows you can listen to right now. All right. Aliens are intelligent, but they're not spiritual. Two separate words. Intelligent is not important. What's that? Hold on 1 second. I don't know, something's making a lot of noise. That was weird. Is that you, Gizmo, making a lot of noise? I hope so. All right. Sorry about losing track because of that. Okay. All the lies about love and protection. Is that going to help you? You think it does? When you love somebody so much and then they get hit by a car, you get hit by a car, anything can go down. What happens to that love? What happens to the other person? You don't think it hurts them forever if they're really in love or truly in love with a person? So love's a good thing sometimes, but it could be many things. It could bring a lot of problems in relationships, especially when somebody cheats on somebody. It brings out crime, murder, and all those words as well. So love isn't as important as we believe it to be. Compassion. If everybody was compassionate, the world would be different. But would it be better? Well, I care about them and they care about them. All right. But when you go beyond that, how far is a person allowed to go? Like there's a show on TV, guys married to 3 women, 4 women, whatever. In some states they allow it and things like that. Would that make things better? No, it makes things harder. When we change things that are normal, you know the old saying when they give a person a test, they give them this board with squares, circles, triangles, and they give these pegs, and you try to put them in these right shapes. When you try to put a square peg in a round hole, does it fit? No. No matter how hard you try, is it ever going to fit in there? No. You can smash it and break it and push it in there, but will it fit in there really? No. We accept things because we want to so bad. Let's change morals. Morals are very close to spiritual, whether people accept that or not. And the morals that man created are very limited. I mean, there's spiritual morals and physical morals. I mean, thou shalt not. When people say you shouldn't steal, shouldn't lie, all right? How many other things outside of that do people consider morals? Is it morally right to beat up your wife? Some countries it is. Some people, is it morally right to only have one child and kill the other ones or sell them? I mean, what we consider morals is based on where you live and who's in power and who created the foundation of the laws that you believe in. If you don't know how to touch yourself spiritually inside what soul is, you're not going to get to the truth. What actions are right? What actions are wrong? Or I feel that's okay, or I feel I can get away with it. See, you know, we try to make everything better. Everybody believes being happy is what it's all about here. It is if you follow Satan. If you want to stay here in hell and watch crime, suffering, and pain all the time, nonstop, everywhere, growing and growing and growing. Do you ever see how bad it's getting? Do you know how many people get killed and all that in a day? How many people this, that, and the other thing? Are you following any of the truth that's going on? Or you sit there and say, well, everything's beautiful. That song came out. Everything's beautiful in its own way. In its own way, not your way. All right. Go to Norway. It's different there as well. All right. How far are you going to get in this lifetime? How far do you want to get? What do you want to accomplish again? Let's get back to that. You want to walk a line to where? Now, I'm going to go into a Bible story. Real or not, whether you want to believe it or not. Moses took people from their prison and freedom, and he walked them to the so-called promised land. Now, here's the facts, people. It wasn't that long of a distance, and he made them walk around in circles. What happened during that time frame? It doesn't go into those details because it doesn't want you to know the truth. They all died, people. Did you know that? None of the people that left the gates when he first took them out of there made it to the promised land. What Moses thought was the promised land. And on top of that, only the children got there. And then when they got there, it's written in the Bible anyway, it says Moses wasn't allowed into the promised land. It doesn't go into detail. Moses wouldn't talk about that if he even knew. He didn't know why. And basically, it wasn't a place on planet Earth. Those people that went to the promised land went into a, what was it called in those days? A city, all right? And there were people there. And they didn't like them, so they killed all the people that were there and created a new city. The same as the white man came into the United States and wiped out all the native people. You know, man hasn't changed much, did they? All right. So where's an understanding of God ever come into the picture? It doesn't. The only time I could tell you that I know it did was Atlantis. All the incarnations I had after that, I mean, I was just about everything. I had over, I'd say roughly between 250 and 300. Some of them I didn't even watch or feel out because it was just so bad. And some of them were just so boring. Being a priest, being a minister, being a rabbi, just boring. Lies and nothing. When you reach a level of seeing beyond the lies, everything becomes useless and boring. What are you here for? I'm going to invent something. What? A flying baseball bat? You put it in the air and it hits the ball for you? What do you want? You want everything to do everything for yourself. And that's why artificial intelligence is going to win over us. Most people would rather have a robot going out in their field and plowing it than them going out and doing it. Mankind's becoming weak in a lot of different ways. And what it lost most is any spiritual truth. And it's hard to get that back. Once you walk away from something, I mean, when Jesus told his disciples and the people that he worked with, go out, don't come back. You're an aware being now. He didn't say come back again. No. If you see the light and you can follow it, you understand it, there's no reason to go anywhere else. But that's only one aspect of what it would appear to some people. All right. Again, when these people made it to the promised land, they killed everybody. What kind of karma do you think they created for themselves? We all forgive ourselves for killing those people, but now we got a city. Where do you think they're going to go from there? How do you create a beautiful rock over dead bodies? Dead souls. Not souls, dead people. So you don't. And now, with all these ghost busting and ghost spirit chasing and all those kind of things, they're seeing it. It's much more real than anybody has ever imagined. Science isn't getting... Because they're filming every kind of creature and entity, talking to ghosts and spirits. Oh, it's all fake. No, it's not all fake. Again, if one thing really is filmed, it's really happening. And I know, I saw it happen live with somebody that I know is one of the most, I would say, spiritual is a really hard word for me to say, but a very high, I guess there's no word to describe it. Somebody that's really incredible in a certain field. Where I actually saw things happen and was a part of it. So, you know, when you experience something, it becomes truth. I mean, as long as you're not drinking, smoking, and doing drugs, it becomes real. And they're the experiences that are the most important. No matter what you do, where you go, what you're playing with, what you're not playing with, who you're with, is no better than the actual experience when you have it. And the first one, that's the most important experience you will ever have in this reality, is stepping out of the body. Now, there's multiple things. There's remote viewing, which is a little different, and it's invading space, which is evil, all right? Then you got astral projection. Astral projection means you're in your astral body projecting into the astral world, becoming aware of that, all right? Then there's soul travel. You are soul. Traveling what you really are is much different than astral projection. And I'll tell you this, once you attain to be able to do soul travel, you don't ever want to do astral projection again. Because the astral This is true, people, listen or not. The astral body has a silver cord attached to it. And it's there for a reason. All right? It keeps your soul connected to this body until it leaves. 99.9% of the time, that's what it does. I'll tell you this, it has to be cut. And you got to get away from it. But you got to know where you're going and everything else before you do that. It's like when you're on a cord from this spaceship floating around in space. Cut that cord. Where do you think they're going to go? And how long do you think they're going to survive? They're not. It's the same with the astral plane. When you get in there, that keeps you coming back to the body. But to have the experiences, you need the guides and angels and whatever you want to call your beings around you to work with you to help you move forward in that space and time. Time's different. And if you stay out of your body, you can do 10,000 more things in the same amount of time. That would probably be an hour or two in this lifetime. So the time frames between each level of awareness, when you change from the physical to the astral to the mental, to up into the etheric and soul plane, or the fifth level, everything changes. Time changes. What you are changes. The third realm, you are no longer male or female. There's no reason to. You're not having sex, you're not multiplying, and none of those things. You are a soul, and you're aware of that. You're eternal. You can't be killed, destroyed, or anything. All right? So, yeah, there's such a difference that man, in general, all these speakers out there, all these false prophets, false healers that are brainwashing you, programming you to make money. I have a thing with Walsh, Neil Diamond Walsh, Conversation with God. Oh, I would pay anything to stand in front of him and debate him in front of people. All these people, Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, and the Pope, put them all together in one room. I'll debate all three of them. I know they were together. The three of them were. And I listened to their which was just that, nothing. Well, the astral plane isn't. But here's the thing, people. If you go from this world to the astral plane, it will be better. You pick an age, and your age is usually 26 to 36. Why would you want to pick 100? Why would you want to pick 10? All right? But in the interim, you don't have to eat. You don't have to walk. You can do a lot of different things. You can't kill people. You cannot. All right? So, yeah, it's a lot better than here, but it's not great. Because you're still dealing with energy and thoughts, and the body and mind are still trapped within it, where soul is like trying to fight, break away from it, but it didn't attain that yet. But it depends how much karma it actually brought when it went there. Because if the soul has a lot of karma when it's in the astral plane, it has to come back here. And it's got to work that off, meaning another couple more lifetimes. People, I'm not making this stuff up. There's no reason to. It's not going to do me any good. I know where I'm going, and I'm not worried. Unless I do something really stupid. We always can. And that's what happened to the angels. They turned around and did something stupid. Really stupid. And they were cast down. Lucifer's a high angel. He's not a demon, people. He was the highest angel. But he's not doing all the bad things to people, not making them kill each other and all that. No, he's not. Satan is. Satan's put the groundwork. What do you want? You want money? No, just be bad. Kill some people for me. Do this, do that. And people do it without knowing how or why. Why do you think children go into a place and shoot children? Why? What do they accomplish? What do they think they're going to get? Now, abuse, who creates abuse, creates multiple levels of karma. So God's never going to come anywhere, or I should say, they're never going to get close to God at any level, in any way. All right, I don't know what I did here, but I screwed up really bad. All right, now, let's go a little further back to God. And this is I do all the time. Everyone creates a way that they believe they're helping, like praying, worshiping, bow down and praying, to justify what? Create your own religion. Lots of people do that. To create it now, and this is how simple it is to create a religion. I read a couple things on how to create a religion. The first thing is create a powerful God. It's your religion. You can do what you want. All right. Second thing is, get a few people to believe what you're saying. At that point, you could actually create a religion. Like I said, there's 2,000 religions, which very few people have a clue what any of them are, except maybe the top 20. All right. Maybe even the top 100, but not the thousands. So, I don't know if you know anything about demonism and vampirism and all those things that have following. People that follow the Ashtar Command, the Galactic Confederation. Why? Do you see anything good happening on this planet? Anything? Stephen Greer is one of the other people. I can't believe he's out there alive, well, telling lies, twisting people's minds, and telling everybody we all need to talk to aliens. And he's got money. He's got a lot of money all of a sudden. Well, he got it somewhere years ago. I'm not going to go into that whole story. But, again, why do people believe him? Because he says aliens are good. There's no bad aliens. Really? Listen to the show I do every Tuesday. I can tell you stories when I was young. Women losing their children at 8.9 months pregnant. Right before birth and things like that. So, when he says, no, they're not bad, really? To lose 2 children in 3 years, what do you think that does to a person? When a person gets abducted, what do you think that's? Oh, now they're being programmed. Oh, it was a good abduction. We went on a tour of the universe and we saw this. No, you didn't. Listen to Corey Good and his stories. He was a comic book writer, and he's writing a new comic. All right, he just put it out, I think. So, people find a way to make money. All right, I've been retired. I'm trying to get my last book, the one I kind of did, the newest one that I want to put out there for free, The True Teachings of Jesus from God Realization. But my first 2 books are free. I can send that as an ebook to somebody. But people, do you want to hear the truth? Do you want to really hear the truth? Are you willing to do much to get to it? I have a few people that really, really are trying. Spirit sees that. People like that get rewarded. Maybe not as the same way they expect to, but they do. Sooner or later. Depending how much karma that they're really dealing with at the time and working out. And I'm telling you, disabled people, people with dementia have a serious problem. But now people with autism, they have a great gift, but they don't have the rest of the balance of the body. So there's a lot of things that change or happen. Each one's given something, and we're all given the pain and suffering of this physical reality. But to realize it's temporary. 125 years isn't temporary. Yes, it is. When there's no end or beginning time frame, it's not a long period of time. And when you pass 50, 60, time multiplies, seems like it's going by 10 times faster. I'm going to be 70 in 2 months. I never wanted to get past 30. Then I never wanted to get past 50. Never mind 70. But I'm not worried about it. I was never worried about my body, which I could have. I could have been perfect right now if I cared about my body to the max. As Jesus said, it's not what you put in your body, it's what comes out of it. Meaning words and actions and all that comes out of your body. And that's not good. All right? Families abuse their children constantly. Oh, my kid's beautiful. And children are brainwashed to believe that everything's perfect. If you can't live life by yourself, you don't understand it. Being in a program where everything's handed to you and everything's perfect doesn't teach you anything. Even in weightlifting, no pain, no gain. If you don't suffer, you don't understand much about soul and death and all those other things that are going to happen. All right. Now, do you believe lies? Do you listen to these people? Yes, you do. Why? Another story from the Bible, the story of Adam and Eve. They believe God created Adam and Eve, right? Eve came out of Adam. Really? Why would people want to believe that? What's God doing today? Where did dinosaur pop out of and all the other things? We didn't evolve from each one of those things because we didn't. But God did lie to Adam in the Bible. Read it. It's only a couple pages. You can read it 10 times in 2 days. Do it. Read every word twice, 3 times. Listen to the words that are used. Sure, they're translated, but understand the words that they're saying. God's not talking as an individual God. He uses the word our. How could you be a God and use our kind? That's not God. All right. No, when the stories of the Anunnaki creating the human race, another false story. People want to believe what they want. People take names and put them in a different situation. Jesus said, I'm Jesus, I'm a man. He never, ever, ever said he was God. Ever! My life's on the line with that one. He never said, I am God. He said, I am what you call me, because that's what you think he is. But he is not that. He was never God, never claimed to be God. He had 32 psychic abilities, which makes you a super being, which makes you called a God. All right? But he wasn't. He knew he had to die. If he had abilities and you were a super God, would you kill yourself? No, why would you? He had to show people something, people. His whole mission was what he's taught and showed them, not what they believe and talk about and do now. It was how to see and experience God. How many people can do that now? Nobody. Oh, I'm talking to God. What God say? Love each other. Really? And then what? We're going to stop the war. We're going to stop Putin. We're going to stop the Chinese. We're going to stop anything from happening. Just recently, there was a massive whale kill, massive shark kill, all these things that are happening right now. And I predicted 2 things that are going to happen. A super major giant earthquake, and we will be in a war. We already are. People, whether you want to admit it or not, no, yes, maybe. But aliens like that. Why do you think they're all, and now everybody's saying, oh, there's more sightings in Russia, I was out 4 days ago. I saw 60 ships in 45 minutes. 3 different kinds of ships. And, the UFO world don't want to talk to people that have real experiences. They like people that just tell story. John Ford, who's in the nut house, he filmed it. He filmed the most incredible video of a ship crash. Nobody talks to him. Nobody's trying to get him out. They're afraid to go near him because the government will come after him. I was warned not to. But again, this UFO world that claims all this stuff, like MUFON, I think they're ridiculous. And when they sold out to Mr. Bigelow, and they did, people, no matter what they say, who they say it to, they sold their stuff to Bigelow. I had a friend from Hawaii who was doing all work in space, planes and ships and all that kind of stuff, and the UFOs they see and deal with. And he put it online, and Bigelow goes, he flew him out there to the ranch and says, I'll buy this from you. No, I don't want to sell it. It's online. No, I want the copyrights to it. No, it's free. He sent them right back to Hawaii. All right? But now he sold the Skinwalker Ranch. Now there's people, multi-millionaire, dealing with that property. I've been trying to get in touch with him. These people won't talk to me because they don't want to deal with real things. Well, they saw a light flash. They saw this. Well, come here. Stand with me on the roof for 2 hours. I mean, when I was a Sergeant 18, who kind of disappeared in the woodwork, we shot things every night. We shot anywhere from 6 to 1,000 pictures every night, from 10 to 3 o'clock in the morning, every other day for 6 years. All right. I mean, he copyrighted everything we shot. Everything that I basically let him take, he classified as his own. What's going on with my phone? It's going to stop that. I was talking to somebody. Stop that phone. My phone was actually talking, sending what I was saying to somebody. I don't know who, what, where. But people, you don't think government watches me? I'm lucky. They could take me out years ago. And, I have my viewpoint. I don't get into it. I mean, I'm not like freaking Stephen Greer. Oh, they offered me $2 billion. $2 billion to walk away from the UFO world. I would do it in a second as well. But they're not going to offer you $2 billion. I can go into that. 16 of my friends in the UFO world that I know personally taken out. And then I know one person in jail, one person just got out, and one person in a nut house. All right. Do you think they offered him $2 billion before they took him out? My friend was working for NASA. He designed all the special pieces that they needed for the space probe and everything else. His whole family disappeared the week after I saw him. He wasn't allowed to look at UFOs, and we showed him pictures. But people, I got, like I said, I think they just watch who I deal with and what I say and who I'm going after. And they know who's putting out the truth or who's putting out lies. They don't care about people lying out there, because it just makes the whole UFO world more screwed up and less acceptable. You'd think we have to be dealing with Tic Tacs right now. Maybe 100 years ago, even 75 years ago, 50 years ago, 1952, the year I was born, fleets of ships were over the White House. And lots of people saw it. So, look, we're going faster than you could imagine in time. We did play with time. We screwed it up. We can't unscrew it. The government's trying, and they can't. Mr. Tesla created something that should have never brought here, and the alien race gave it to him. But that has nothing to do with God. Everything we're doing, free energy and all that, has nothing to do with God. What we're doing to the planet has nothing to do with God. But we will create a point when it's going to be destroyed. And that's closing in on us fast. All right? And when that happens, there'll be another world created when this world disappears. Because these souls aren't going to be able to jump into the next realm because the planet died. Their karma's still with them. People, God's incredible. And if you knew anything about it, you would understand a lot more stuff than you do now. UFO people don't understand God. Spiritual people don't understand God. Oh, it's a loving being that sits up there and protects us. From what? Dying? Seeing your family die? Seeing your family get hurt? Seeing anything? What's it protecting you from, people? Well, I was almost hit by a car today. Well, tomorrow you get hit by a bus. So where was the miracle? What was that miracle for? Did you learn anything from anything? People don't learn. And that's why they stay here. But if you hang on to what we think we're supposed to learn, we will never leave here. You'll reincarnate over and over. If you think anything here is important, a high-tech car, high-tech spaceship, high-tech submarine with weapons on it, is that about spiritual truth in any way? All that is lower vibration energy. So when they say you're going to raise your vibration to what? A neutron bomb? Proton bomb? What? People don't talk about, oh, a nuclear bomb, a nuclear bomb. We have directed energy weapons on the United States right now, and we're testing it on ourselves. Hawaii, they test bombs up on the mountain. We buried bombs all over the island, and I found a spot right by the school that's super radioactive. People do not care. As long as there's money involved and they could make it, it doesn't matter. All right. Before I'm going, I'm not missing everything I did want to get into, but I want to do this, and I do it all the time. What do you think God is? Let me see what's the first night. Hold on. Greetings, everybody coming in. Any question? Come into the site if you have anything good to say or questions you want to ask. So just want to see any questions real fast. Oh man, the music's playing. I am so sorry. Glad you told me. Man, it should have been off. Sorry about that, people. Glad you told me. No, I turned it off, but it wasn't turned off. I cherish my karma. Oh, good. Cherish it. You don't even know what it is, but cherish it anyway. All right. We believe what we want to believe. We see what we want to see. But do we see the truth ever? Again, I want to get into these few things before I leave today. What do you think God is? And you have to do this. And you got to do it more than once in your life. All right. People that know me know that they tried or did or became aware of it. Write down what you think God is. Everything you think God is, write it down on a piece of paper. Get a big piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. Write everything you think God is. You can't write God is everything and then leave it at that. Anything you think God's a puppy, God's a butterfly, write all those things down. On the other side, write things God are not. Oh, God's everything, so it can't be nothing. Guess what? You're wrong. I'm going to tell you this. Everything you write on what God is probably the opposite of the truth. If we ever had a chance and you get in touch with me, I'll go over them with you. Because what you assume God is not what it is. It doesn't love you the way you perceive it to. It doesn't care what you do. Not yet. You're useless to it right now. You think a baby's good for an army? What could a baby do for the army? Go out there and walk in its diapers with a baby thing in its hand, wave it at the army? You're useless until you grow up, understand what you are as soul. So, when you talk about to yourself, what is God? What is God? What does it do for you? Is it part of you? Is it helping you in any way? Does it understand? Answer that. Now, the person I do my UFO show with said there is no God. There is no anybody because nobody helps her. Well, she's in a place where she doesn't get any help. She has a lot of karma. And it might take a while because now aliens are playing with her for years and years and years. So when you write down what God is, think it out. And then is there any place where you prove that to yourself that it's real? Well, God makes me levitate. I could float around the room. Does it really? What do you think God does for you? You personally. Do you think God creates poisons for the planet? Poisons the oceans? Poisons the skies? Any of those things? All right. Now, on the side, what God is not. What isn't really related to God? How about you pull up the word rape? Murder. You think God's a murderer? Think God's a rapist? You blame every rape that happens on this planet on God? No, we're free will beings, people, in a world that we're allowed to express that. But we're not expressing good things. We're not doing good things. I mean, how many countries are here? And the other word, UN Agenda 21-30, was accepted by 193 countries agree we need one world order. That means complete slavery, complete control, complete everything for the few people that will be here. Does God have to play with that game? No. But as we start destroying the planet, there'll be a time that he'll have to eliminate some of the souls that don't deserve to stay here, that deserve to go to the astral plane, will be taken there. If the world blew up right now, you think everybody's going to stay on the astral plane? No. You'll be based on whatever karma you have, and that's where you'll be going. So what does God do to make you know that it's real? You need to ask yourself that. Why would you even want to believe in God if you didn't prove it to yourself that it's real? Believe in Batman, Superman, Green Hornet, all those kind of creatures, Thor, and all the other things? Is it going to help you? Can it? To do what? Get a different job? Well, I'm picking potatoes. I'd rather pick tomatoes. I'd rather pick flowers. Really? The world, how? I mean, I watch all these stupid shows, 90 Day Romance. I watch relationships. Every one of them's a ridiculous situation. I don't even know how you could find two people in such a bad environment or connection or relationship. I mean, they got this guy's married to all these wives, and the mother and daughter are like in love with each other, and they bring a boyfriend in. It's just crazy ridiculous. And I know how bad that gets. I can go into that. And I experienced much harder, worse things than that completely. But is it beneficial? If you can see through it. If you don't make it yours. When you accept like murder, going to another country, killing, or becoming part of the army to kill other people, you're accepting something evil. Well, we got to protect our country. Why? We're mass murderers, people. The United States have killed 50 million native people. We're not good people. The Spanish and the white people in the United States. And then when I went to Puerto Rico, they were killing all the white people coming there years ago. So, we're not smart. We're not spiritual. We're not aware in general. How can you talk? I talk to people daily. I write to people daily. I listen to people daily. And I haven't found one spiritual being yet. I listen to everything Deepak Chopra said. I listen to everything Eckhart Tolle said. I listen to everything the Pope says. I listen to everything the Dalai Lama says. And very little truth in any of it. Because not one of them's talking about God. Without God, there is nothing. If God created everything and you don't know there's a God, everything doesn't exist, really. And that's where Buddha was. Buddha didn't go past the astral plane. That's why I went into the bliss state. And the bliss state is a state being in a energy force that you forget who you are. And you could say that for infinity, but you won't do anything either. You lose yourself. You became part of a vibration. And that's it. Energy and vibration isn't anything, people. It doesn't have an awareness. The light and sound has its sound and vibration, but it's only bringing the energy that comes from God itself through that. And it gets changed every level that it goes through. There's many levels after the fifth plane, but the fifth plane is where soul stays. It doesn't go beyond that either. It's just like the physical body. It can't go past this world. So when you get to the soul plane, soul stays there. You can leave it. You could always move forward, but souls usually don't go that far or never get there. And if you're happy here, you're in trouble. And if the astral plane, it's bad. No, it's better than here. Imagine not having to eat or eating as much as you want and then flying over, going to another universe, whatever, all those kind of things. But it's limited, all right, by who you are and your awareness. You're not an aware being yet. When you're aware in the lower realm, you have 32 psychic abilities like Jesus and Mary Magdalene had. Nobody else had it, people. And I don't care if you believe in the Bible or believe in this or that. They were different. They weren't teaching a religion. They were not. They had incredible teachings, but teaching the brain dead, dumb, and ignorant is pretty hard. When they don't want to hear it, don't want to know the truth of what you're saying. When Jesus was killed, the disciples were walking all different ways. They had nothing. They didn't believe anything now until they actually came in contact with Jesus again. If he didn't die, he wouldn't prove why he came here and what his mission was. People, whether you want to believe in the Bible or not, you don't have to believe in God. You probably don't. Universal energy. Yeah, what's that do for you? Oh, I'm aware of what? I'm doing what? I'm seeing ships. So what? I see ships every day, all the time, light ships blinking at me. So what? I said, look, you got the boss come down and talk to me? Okay. I'll give you something of mine if you give me something of yours. That's the deal. And they're all afraid to do that. I did exorcisms. I removed a demon from my friend. So yeah, it's all real, people. But how much we accept it and what we're doing to do when we do learn that. Okay, which Bible is the best? No Bible is the best. It was all written by man. The Anunnaki wrote stories? No, man wrote the stories. Zachariah Sitchin wrote what he thought they were saying, and that's truth is inside you. It's nowhere else. The pyramids don't mean anything to us. Skeletons of giants don't mean anything to us. Is it going to help us? I'll bring it back to life. Yeah, well, they're trying to bring up things back from the bones and stuff. Yeah, that's what man has done. It's not here no more. Well, let's bring it back. Well, let's bring back the 50s and the 60s or the 70s music. Let's go back. Let's get rid of all the music that's here now. I mean, go backwards? No, but can we move forward? Can we move better than where we are? Well, if you don't know God, you never will. We won't create anything spiritual. We haven't yet. And the things that were are still being sought after. And then you got people like Nasir Harriman. Nasir Harriman, check him out. He claims to have the Ark of the Covenant. And then he brings people up to the Galactic Federation ship, which he tries to do. Do you want to follow that? Do you want to believe in that? He personally has an Ark of the Covenant. He says the government has the other one. And he needs millions of dollars to link them together. Really? Who's he working with, people? That you can figure out, hopefully, easily. Drumville Melchizedek claims he was working with the beings inside the earth. He was going to introduce the people of the earth to them years ago. Never happened. The stories come out. The beliefs are there. When David Wilcock was on TV, the first time he was on TV, he said, I am God. Guess what? He doesn't say that no more. People, stories and sounds and words, what we want to hear or believe is out there all the time. The truth isn't. Now, I say I'm open for debate anytime, anywhere, any place. I send that to every single spiritual person that claimed to be. All right? The third eye. Yes, you need to open your third eye. That's how you see. But you could leave through your crown. You could leave through your stomach as well. But the third eye is pretty good for the native tribes lived on the ground. They could see through the third eye. But you don't want the truth. You want lies. Like the native people believed that the star beings helped them. They were the Greys people. And they didn't help them. Bigfoot helped them. He did not. They did not. Man creates stories to protect himself or his personal ego. Mankind, after Atlantis was destroyed, was never a loving, compassionate being, meaning real to themselves and then to other people. If you don't know who and what you are, how could you be real? It's like saying, look in the mirror. What do you see? Who do you see? Do you see your soul? Can you see your aura even? Learn that. That's the first simple thing you can learn easily. Stare into a mirror. Put red lights in the background or whatever. It's not voodoo. It's just seeing yourself as soul's energy and what you radiate as. Red, blue, green, purple, black, whatever. Brown with holes in it. You'll see it if you open your eyes and just try. The idea is to stare and don't blink. And that's as simple as it gets. And you do that for a while, and the stare it starts changing. And you'll see forms, you'll see past lives, you'll see everything. It opens the gateway. It's simple. I mean, witches did it because they were into things like that. They were more open to it. But if you're blind and programmed, you're never going to get to that point. People, I've been doing shows for a long time. I wrote a couple books. My new book it's been out for a while, but I want to make it so I can send it to people for free. Not that people want to read things about truth. My first book was How to See God. Second book was When Truth is Called Crazy. My third book was Truth Beyond the Illusion. And my fourth book is When the True Teachings of Jesus from God Realization. And it's just what it is. The truth when I was alive with Jesus in that lifetime. Who and what he was, what he really said and taught, and what he was about. Which his people didn't understand. And who Mary Magdalene was. The Knights of Templar still follow her. But people, time's running out. Something major is going to happen. Let me just pull this up real fast and I'll see how bad it is today. Because it's getting worse. All right, let's see. Okay, Russia had a 5.0 today, just a little while ago. All the islands around Australia are having earthquakes all the time. They had a 5 in Timor. I can't even say it. But the Ring of Fire isn't bad because they're all around 4 or 5. A week ago, they were 5.6, 6.2. Something's happening, that alone. All right, people. So keep an eye on things. Don't say everything's fake or say everything's real. There's a fine line between both, but you need to dig between them. I took the book. I would show it to right now. It's all about 9/11. This lady was a top scientist, and everything shows the facts, the levels of vibration before things happen and everything else, proving that everything's a lie, but she really can't prove it because you put proof there, the government will twist it and rebuild it and change it anyway. They're not going to let the truth out. Putin asked Trump before he became president, he said, I want you to tell the world what really happened at 9/11. And then he said, we're working with aliens. You need to tell the world what you're doing with aliens. And he said he said it on Russian TV 3 months before Trump was elected. Trump never did that, did he? Trump says he doesn't believe in UFOs because his son asked him. But we're at a time where everything's going to change, and not for the better. But as long as you are aware for yourself, what's going to happen if you die? If you die tomorrow, you could die within an hour. Are you ready? Are you aware where you're going to do, what you're going to do? What you're going to do when the cops are after you? What are you going to do? Guess what? Run? Fight back? What are you going to do? If they declare martial law in the United States, what are you going to do? If they took out our satellites, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? It'll be complete chaos because we have no morals. People, when I mentioned morals such a long time, there was a magazine when I was little. It was like Life magazine, but it was called Morals. And it was the changing of women's body shapes and how they perceived that this was a better form and we had to lose weight, and they had to lose weight and this, that. And it was all about a lot of morals, how it was at that time, which we don't have no more. We don't have morals of any kind. So children don't have morals. Children don't know what morals are. So how could they live by them? People, I do this show for you, not for me. Every day I say, do I want to talk to people that don't care? I said, well, maybe one person will get something out of it here or there. And that's all that matters. I'm not here to change the world. Jesus came and was killed. Gandhi was killed. All these people that were spiritual, most of them were killed. One or two lived to about 89, sick. Even the founder of Eckankar, he was poisoned and it took a year before he died. So why people have to take out so-called spiritual people? Because Satan rules this world. If it was run by spiritual people, guess where we would be? Where would we be, people? Way beyond where we are right now. Will we have to pay $80,000 for a car? Well, how much are we paying for gas? $10 for gas soon? Now they're going to stop making 2 billion gallons a month or whatever it is, week. I have no clue, but they're going to really screw us again, and the prices are going to skyrocket again. They make you feel good. Oh, it went down $5, 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. But it went up from 4 to 7, almost 7. We play with prices. Milk here in Hawaii, food here in Hawaii is ridiculous. And a loaf of bread went up $1. A box of cookies went from $3.50 to $5.50. A gallon of milk's $7.85. So prices just keep going up. I buy hamburgers for my little doggy, and it was $12.95 2 weeks ago, and it's $16.95 now. Prices escalate dollars in a week. How long do you think that's going to go on before nobody can live here? I'm surviving, but it's so hard when 90% of your money goes to food. You don't have much to do anything else. I'm not saying you're eating tons of food, but what you have to buy is taking all your money. Vacation, things like that. I don't think about it. I'm right next to the ocean. You think I spend time going swimming, fishing, doing anything I want to do? No, I don't. Why? Because I feel, look, it's only going to take my attention off of life and what I'm doing. I write constantly. I'm writing letters daily to every person that puts a YouTube up or TikTok or any of those things up. Where's the truth? What are you saying? You're going to put down God and put up freaking Lucifer and say he's the greatest? I'm not going to condemn Lucifer, but he's not the demon that everybody makes him out to be. So where do you want to go from here, people? Send me emails. I put my email up in the very beginning. I'll put it up now. Use Skype because I'd rather talk. I had dyslexia. I have autism, not autism, but DHET. I can't even say the letters because my letters get mixed up. But again, I'd rather talk than write. So people, enjoy your day, enjoy your night, enjoy wherever you are. Well, we got tons of chickens around here, and I haven't killed one yet. If I was starving, I don't know. I don't want to go to cannibalism. I mean, mankind ate everything that moves on this planet at one time and still do. Everything, including humans. So the last tribal Aborigine tribe that ate people was found not too long ago, trying to convert them. So people, the truth's there. God is there, but not the way you perceive it to be. I'm sorry I didn't get into God that much. You know, it's just all these little things that will stop us and everybody from getting any further down the road. But if you can't block this out and get beyond it, how can you see beyond it if you're just looking around what you're looking at? Well, the trees are beautiful. The bees are so pretty. The flowers, the birds, oh, it's so beautiful. Well, they're all dying, people. Are you looking at that? I mean, the biggest stingray kill happened, biggest shark kill happened. All these things, people. Well, it's great for the people that listen. Anytime, like I said, I'm always open to public people calling me. Please Skype me, and I'll just stick it right up there in case you want to see it for real. Okay, people, you want to talk directly? Friend me there. Or email me there. But the truth's out there, people. Don't stop until you get it. And it's not that hard compared to not learning it and staying here forever. I think that's a much harder thing to deal with than planning on leaving here sometime soon, meaning this lifetime, not coming back. There's no reason to come back, people. It doesn't get better for you because you come back. I'm not going to say anymore. I'll be here for another 10 hours if I wanted to be, but I know people get bored in an hour. So you had me about an hour and 20 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Please friend me or send my link to other people. Tell them to listen at least. They might not want to hear anything. They want to believe that God's so important and it loves them and protects them. Let them believe it. Okay. Rev.Hawksblood here from the big island of Hawaii. Enjoy your night, day, wherever you are. Peace, love, compassion, whatever you need in your life. Don't stop until you get it. Make sure it's right. Make sure it's true. All right.